Hello everyone and welcome back to more Cinderella phenomenon. Yes, we are back for more Rod route. Yes, we are currently still in Roderick. Is his name Roderick? I forgot his name, but his nickname is Rod. So in the last episode, we basically definitively decided to kind of ask Rod or kind of corner Rod into trying to help us with our curse. But of course, with our own effort, it wasn't going to work because Rod absolutely hates us. But with Delora's help, she was like, hey, I got an idea in which you could possibly get yourself back into the palace and then find out more on about, Rod and possibly trying to get him to, help you with your curse. And of course, we were like, how the hell am I supposed to get back into the palace when no one remembers me? But, of great importance. But with the little string pulling, Delora gets us back into the palace as a personal maid to Emmeline. Yes, our roles have reversed. Emmeline is now currently crown princess in this sort of timeline, and we are her personal maid. So we basically have to follow her around and to help her and shit. Emmeline is really gracious about it, even though we are totally salty about it. I mean, figures, because it's like I'm the crown prince. Because Hannah's like I was the crown princess, and now why do I have to come back and help Emmeline be her personal maid? This is like cruel irony kind of thing. So our duty is to help us to follow Emmeline around. Emmeline is really kind about it. She's like, no, it's okay. You don't have to follow me around, blah blah blah. But of course, it's our duty. And of course, Hannah's really shaded out about it. She's always sus about it. She's like, why is she being kind to a lowly maid like me? Blah blah blah. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, as we follow Emmeline around to her day-to-day life as a crown princess now, we find out that underlying worry and pressures about being the crown princess, and how her father is he wants to throw a ball for her in order to find her a suitable prince or whatever, suitable husband essentially. And so Emmeline of course wasn't really on board with it. She's like, oh no, isn't this a little bit too much? How am I supposed to marry somebody who I don't really know all that well, kind of thing. And it's like, do I really have to do it? And it's like, her father's just like, oh, it's tradition, you have to do it. And of course, Hannah low-key was like, when I was princess, he never asked me this question because he knows I don't want to do it, so he never brought it up. So Emmeline really is distraught about it. She's like, I don't really want to, do this because, she doesn't like it, even though it's her duty technically as the princess, and it's, it's for the benefit and the good of all the kingdom. But of course, after, excusing herself from breakfast and Rod seeing us as a maid, we confronted Emmeline, or found Emmeline, and she's just kind of, really emotional about it. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do this, but I have to because I'm princess. But of course, we told her straight up, was like, if I was you, I wouldn't go along with this stupid shit. And it's it made Emily feel a little better about herself. But then she decided to go head to town, and she wants to invite us and Rod along with her. But we couldn't find Rod because Rod of course is just he just cannot be bothered with us, and he's really hella salty that we're here too, and he just thinks that we have some underlying hidden agenda, which we don't really, because we straight up told him we're only here to break our curse and that's it. We're not here to harass your sister kind of thing and your family. And so we ran into Fritz in the process of trying to find Rod when we were heading out to town, and Fritz of course remembers us, and it kind of low-key makes us suspect that Fritz is cursed as well, but we never really got around to asking him. But anyways, regardless, Fritz recognizes us, but we told him to keep it at a low profile so that we don't get ousted out by it and anybody else gets suspicious. Oh yes, and Mythos. So Mythos, the creepy guy, the advisor dude, came across us as well, and he sort of had this he's sort of really shady about seeing us again as well, but he didn't really say anything much. But we know, I think he knows that he knows who we are exactly, but he's not saying it. But anyways, we left it at that. Went to town, went back to the toy shop, and then we met up with Viorka again at the toy shop because she's Emmeline's friend. But we saw that Rod was acting really weird around her, and he was being really cold towards her, and really he doesn't want to stay as long as he'll stay longer than necessary. So he goes out of the shop, and we follow him, and we ask him, we sort of hit him with a hard question, what's up with you and Viorka? Why are you acting so cold towards her, kind of thing? I saw you, and she mentioned that she was getting married. And he didn't really reveal all too much, other than that that they're childhood friends. But yeah, so other than that, we went on our merry way. We stayed at the palace for like 3 months. Wasn't able to get our good deed yet until we were setting up for the ball. We found our room again, and it was left untouched, and except there was a single doll that was there that Emmeline had bought in hopes of trying to like befriend us before before we got the curse. So she doesn't really remember why she bought the doll in the first place, but she's like, I want to keep it because I feel it's important. And that was that. And then during the lesson, we had a little bit of we danced a little bit with Rob because Rob was trying to teach Emmeline how to dance, but she sucks at it, and so we had to give her a proper demonstration. And then afterwards, we found Emmeline late at night, and she's trying to learn the different forks and the utensils and the uses and purposes of them. And of course, we stepped in and we helped her out. And from then on, we were like, okay, if you need any more help with this, then just kind of be sure to ask me about the things. And Emmeline was really touched about it. She's like, okay, thank you so much, kind of thing. And that's when we got our first deed. Yes, we got our first deed. And Rod was starting to warm up to us. Like, he helped us on certain occasions, even though it's kind of really random and spotty, but he was making an effort into sort of warming up to us. He saw how kind we were trying to be to Emmeline. And and I think so far, he's kind of slowly starting to be convinced that, hey, we're here just because we want to break our curse, not necessarily because we have any, hostilities towards his sister and his family. So yes, that's it. So we are currently now in chapter 5, and we ended off on that last chapter with basically getting our first shard, our first piece to the other slipper. So yes, let's continue on. I know it's probably a really lengthy summary, but a lot has happened. A lot of nuances and a lot of details where Rod is starting to warm up on us, and we found a little bit more about underlying things that his character story might possess, his unrequited love with Viorca, maybe, possibly, and what possibly might be the way to break his curse and why he chose not to do it. So yeah, let's continue on. Let's find out more in this chapter, hopefully. So good morning, Your Highness. Would you like to play with us? No. You want to play with me? Yeah, come play with us. We'll have lots of fun. Well, please, just for a little while. Maybe I can... Hana, what are you doing here in front of the gates? Uh-oh. Mother. Good morning, Your Majesty. We were just wondering if the princess wants to come play with us. No, Princess Hana does not want to play with you. Oh, wow. But, Mother, I do. Enough idle chatter. We must go. It is almost time for your dance lessons. Oh, but... Hana, do not make me repeat myself. Yes, Mother. Well, Mama's a bit of a bitch. I feel like Hana at this point was more so a victim of her mom, just simply because her father was just too busy to really be a part of her life, and so therefore she turns all her affection towards her mom. But her mom right now, it seems like she's not the greatest parental figure. It is still dawn when I wake up. As much as I want to continue sleeping, I have no choice but to get up and prepare for the day. The last thing I need is an annoying lecture from the head maid. I have almost become accustomed to waking up this early, even if I do not enjoy it. Me, when school's around. As soon as my preparations are made, I begin to make my way toward Emmeline's room, should she wake early. I am about halfway there when I hear familiar voices. Standing far ahead of me are Sir Alcaster and Sir Mitros. Yes, we have met Sir Alcaster as well. He's a very intimidating man. He's the head of the knights brigade or shit like that. Yeah, he's the guards. Are you sure this is going to work? Have a little faith in me, my friend. Shady business going on. What? So early in the morning? Friends? We are not friends. Sir Alcaster narrows his eyes and turns abruptly to look at me. Oh, Miss Hana, was it? Sir Mito, Sir Alcaster. Have you been eavesdropping, child? No. He has no reason to be angry at me. If they were talking about something confidential, they should not have been openly talking in the hallway. Yes, true. I'm on my way to Princess Emmeline's room, sir. That is why I am here. I coolly look at Sir Alcaster, who looks like he is about to pop a vein. I cannot help but feel satisfied at his reaction. In just a few steps, he is suddenly looming over me. Oh god. Hey man, back off. I have never seen Sir Alcaster look so angry before. What is going on? Oh, Rod! Rod, help me! Scary men. Rod is now walking towards us with a scowl on his face. Sir Alcaster notices this and quickly steps back. There was just a little misunderstanding, Your Highness. I feel like they're plotting something against the crown princess and the royal family. I'm pretty sure, like I swear it has to be, because I have no reason other than Mithros to believe that no one remembers us. So Sir Alcaster clearly won't remember us unless Sir Mithros let him in on that, hey, you know, that one maid girl, she used to be the crown princess, but now I'm pretty sure that she's been cursed, that way no one remembers her kind of thing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's something, there's some plotting against the royal family right now. Rod glances at me, his eyes narrowing. Great, I am sure he's going to blame me for this too, even though I did nothing. No, he's here to help. I hope. Yes! Because he's been warming up to us, like I said. Much to my surprise, Rod puts himself between me and Sir Alcaster. Are you alright, Hannah? Yes, I am. He is worried about me. I slowly nod. Rod turns back to Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros. If you don't have any business with Hannah, I will be taking her with me. Emmeline is already waiting for her. Sir Alcaster stares at me for a few moments before bowing down to Rod. Of course, Your Highness. Thank you. Okay. Rod turns to me again, his expression solemn. Shall we? Okay. Yes, we shall. He walks off before waiting for my reply. I look back at Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros one last time before chasing after him. So suspicious. Sketchy. The both of us spend the next few minutes walking in silence. Rod has not said a thing since my encounter with Sir Mithros and Sir Alcaster. Are you okay? Yes, I am. What? He already asked me that before. Is he really that worried? I am fine. I am not. I don't know if I should say I am not, because I was pretty intimidated by Sir Alcaster, but I should say I'm fine. Like, nothing, I'm not hurt. I'm just maybe a little, scared. I'm fine. I am surprised by the look on Rod's face at my response. His expression is soft, so unlike his usual scowl. Why? Rod here is pretty worried about you, Princess. Aww. Oh, he's like, shit. Stop. Rod glares at Sebby, his cheeks tinged pink. Sebby chuckles. Sorry, Rod, your thoughts ring so loudly in your mind that I can't help but say them aloud. Aww. Oh, yes, I did it. Yes. This is not the first time Sebby has told me about what Rod is thinking. Rod reaches out and pinches Sebby's face, his scowl returning. Ow, I'm sorry, okay, but next time try not to think too loudly. You said that Emmeline was waiting for me. I did not expect her to be up so early. Where is she? I lied. Oh, what? He lied to help me out of that situation. Yes. Why? Yeah, are you helping me? Because while you're here, you are my responsibility. I may loathe the role, but I will still uphold it. Yes, Delora sort of forcefully told him that, hey, she was the one who, chose to kind of be here, and because she believed so, really believed that you would help her, so now you're gonna have to, owe up to it kind of thing. Besides, you don't need a reason to help someone in need. Help someone in need. I remember Parfait and Delora telling me before that being good often involves helping others who are in need. Now that I've helped you, I'll be taking my leave now. I have fencing lessons to attend. Oh, okay. Rod starts to walk off, but then stops and turns back to me. Don't get yourself into more trouble. I won't be there all the time to save you. I know. I just so happened to it just happened. I glare at him and cross my arms. I am not some damsel in distress, Your Highness. I do not need your help. Rod snorts before turning away from me and walking away. I was just trying to keep a front. Later that day, I watch Emmeline finish her etiquette lessons. I can tell that the teacher is impressed with her progress, but I'm an independent woman anyway, so I can handle myself. Just as long as you don't point a sword at me, then that's not really fair. Emmeline is able to correctly name all the glasses and cutlery. She is not so slow a learner. That's great. I had come here earlier in the day to better teach Emmeline about proper dining etiquette. It turns out that my lesson was valuable. Oh, okay, great. You have shown great improvement, Your Highness. I am glad that you have been diligent with your studies. No doubt you'll be ready for the ball soon. Emmeline smiles, her cheeks turning pink. Thank you. I wouldn't have done it without the help of oh, don't mention me. Friend. Yes. Emmeline glances at me briefly and smiles gently. I really owe her a lot. That is wonderful. I am so glad you have such a dedicated friend, Your Highness. Friend? She's like, wow, is that really what I am to her? But princesses do not have maids as friends. Well, this princess sure does. A royal does not mingle with commoners, especially not with servants. My mother told me that before. Well, your mother sucks. She's no fun. Emmeline does not treat me as a maid, but she cannot possibly think of me as a friend. Oh, after the teacher gives Emmeline several books to study for their next lesson, she ends the lesson and excuses herself. Okay, Emmeline approaches me and grasps my hands. Thank you so much, Hannah. I wouldn't have passed without your help. All I did was repeat the things your teacher taught you. But you're different. Aw, I raise an eyebrow at her. Different. I tend to get nervous in my lessons. My teachers are strict and intimidating. I cave beneath the pressure. Aw, but with you, well, I feel more comfortable around you. It's probably because we're almost the same age and your lessons feel more casual. So thank you. I am very grateful to you. Aw, she looks down at the ground shyly. I hope it's alright that we're friends. Yeah, I furrow my eyebrows at her. Why would you even want to be friends with a maid? You're supposed to be making friends with the nobles, not the servants. Oh, Emmeline frowns, and I can feel her deflate. She walks toward the window and sighs. I tried. They may not say anything, but I can feel them silently judging me. I wasn't born a princess, and I feel that they judged everything that I do. Right, yeah, I figured, because she was a commoner herself, right? Before her mom married the king, and that automatically made her the princess. They think that I smile too much, that I'm not regal enough. They feel that I'm too clumsy or too cheerful. Well, Emmeline definitely does not act like a noble. I cannot say I blame the nobles for being skeptical of her. Being with them suffocates me. I do my best to act like a princess, but the way they all look at me, it's as if they're waiting for me to make a mistake. Then they'll all have an excuse to jeer at me. Every girl dreams of becoming a princess, and yet this is not my dream. I really just miss being a normal girl. I miss my freedom. I look at her, thoughtful. I think I can understand what Emmeline is feeling. Just like me, she was thrown into a world she was not ready to be a part of. Right now, we have no choice but to fit in. She never wanted my title in the first place, yet I accused her of stealing it. Yes. Have you told your mother how you feel? Emmeline shakes her head. Yeah. No, not the king either. I don't want them to think that I'm ungrateful. That's why I'm trying my best to become accustomed to all of this. I cross my arms. But you are not happy. I'm not. Yeah, aw, of course not. Everyone just assumes that I'm happy because I smile a lot. Yeah, she barely opens up to anyone, and yet she opened up to me. Had I been given the choice before I was cursed, I would never have listened to her. Yes. You should tell them how you feel rather than just keep it to yourself, otherwise the stress will continue to accumulate on your shoulders. I wish I could be more honest with them, I really do. I envy you for being able to speak your mind. She envies me. Emmeline takes a deep breath and sighs. The frown fades with the sigh and is quickly replaced by a fragile smile. Yeah, because we don't take shit from anybody, even when we were a princess, and even now. I'm sorry for ranting to you like that. I must have bored you with my story. No. I used to get so annoyed with her, but now that I have seen this side of her, I suppose she is not as terrible as I had first thought. Yeah, you guys are. You guys have a lot more in common than you think. Oh, I remember that mother wanted to see me after my lessons today. Allow me to escort you to the queen then. Yes, that is my job after all. Thank you. Okay, here we go. And, intermission. Yes. Alright, so days pass without any real conflict. I run into Sir Alcaster again in the hallways, but his eyes pass over me as if I am something to be ignored. Well, that's good for you, right? Delora, who had been ignoring me as she had been busy with other priorities, returned to the margin yesterday to discuss something important with Parfait. It is not as if she had been any help since she came here. She mostly stays in my room while I run around doing errands for Emmeline and taking on other chores as they are handed to me. But she did kind of like push Rod in the right direction kind of thing, like made him a little bit more willing to, stick by you. Right now I'm headed to the palace gates as I hurry to meet Emmeline. She is going out of town to meet Viorca again, and I was told to meet her here, yeah. Hannah, yes, Fritz. Oh, my dear Fritz. I turn around to see Fritz walking in my direction. Ever since I told him to refer to me by my name, he has been stumbling over not using my title. I rarely see him, but when I do, we do not have much time to discuss anything. Can I help you with anything, Fritz? It's been a while. Have you managed to complete one of your good deeds? Yes! Days after I had originally run into Fritz, I managed to have a quick conversation with him regarding my curse. It has been a long time since that conversation happened. Recently, I have barely seen Fritz. I hear rumors that he has been reassigned somewhere outside the palace. I show him my pendant and points at the piece of the second glass slipper. I managed to get one several days ago. He's like, Hannah, that's wonderful. Yes, right? Oh my god, be proud of me. I knew that you could get one. Really? Only two more and then I can break this curse. Fritz, Miss Hannah, I did not think that the two of you were acquainted. Uh-oh. We both turned our heads at the same time when Mithros suddenly appeared from around the corner, the usual smile on his lips. This shady character here, Sir Mithros. Fritz, I believe Sir Alcaster is looking for you. Oh no. Alright, sorry. Hannah. I must take my leave now. Okay, of course. Okay, bye. Fritz bows to Sir Mithros while walking off, leaving me alone with Sir Mithros. Oh god. Mithros does not say anything, but continues to smile at me. His staring makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. Oh my god, yeah. Like, why are you smiling at me like that? Stop. Is there something on my face? Excuse me. Yeah. I curtsy and start to walk off when Sir Mithros calls my name. Hannah. Yes? I just wanted to thank you for your hard work and dedication to our princess. I look at him puzzled about his sudden gratitude. Don't worry, everything will soon be remedied. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Excuse me? Oh, my apologies. I did not mean to keep you. Oh, he completely ignores my question. He dips his head slightly before turning and walking away, the smile still on his face. Okay, that's really sketchy. What was that all about? Oh my god, I feel like he knows who we are, and he doesn't like Emmeline as the crown princess, so he's planning on trying to get rid of her, I'm pretty sure, and to try to put us back on the fucking throne. But since we're getting really close to Emmeline, I don't think we're gonna be happy about that, because it makes sense, because, what's it called? He was really, like, he really admired our mother, right? And we, like, really look like her too, and we sort of somewhat act like her used to be when we were a princess. But like, yeah, so it's like it would make sense that he would rather prefer us as the crown princess or even like the queen than, you know, Emmeline, this like, you know, commoner girl who turned princess, you know? Rod and Emmeline are already waiting for me outside the carriage by the time I arrive at the palace gates. Rod has his arm crossed and looks at me irritable. Sorry. His face is perpetually stuck in that scowl, it seems. I know, right? It's like his resting bitch face. You are late. Oh, my apologies. You're so grumpy, but you've been late many times before too, Rod. Rod just shrugs his shoulders as he turns and heads into the carriage. Okay, Emmeline sighs before looking at me. Okay, shall we? Okay, of course. Yes, let's go. Why are we visiting Viorca just to see how her, like, you know, wedding preparations are going? The three of us sit in silence as the carriage rolls toward the town. The knight assigned to guard duty is sitting out front with the driver, watching for any disturbances. Emmeline glances forlornly out one window while Rod silently looks out the other as he rests his chin on the palm of his hand. I notice Emmeline pausing to glance at Rod every now and then, looking restless. Finally, she breaks the silence. Are you still mad that I asked you to come along to visit Viorca? You could have declined the invitation, Rod. And if you would only tell me what happened between the two of you, I would do my best to remedy the situation. He's like, no, forget about it. He's like, don't worry about it. No, Rod notices me looking at him and scowls. He returns his moody gaze to the window. To the wall! To the wall. I have nothing to say, Em. But you used to be good friends with Viorca too, Rod, but then ever since you were... Emmeline stops herself, but I know that she is referring to his curse. Okay. After that day, you kept your distance from her. Then when you found out about the wedding, you became even colder towards her. Yeah. Even Viorca is worried about you, Rod. She worries that she might have offended you somehow. Emmeline, there's a hint of warning in his tone. Is it possible that Viorca is related to Rod's curse, considering the timing? Emmeline opens her mouth again to say something, but then suddenly stops and returns to the window, her expression mirroring Rod's own gloom. I'm pretty sure he was cursed before he could even confess that he likes Viorca, but now that he can't talk, Viorca is like, or, you know, it wouldn't really make sense because, I don't know, maybe, because he has Sebi to voice his thoughts, right, and to, like, act as his voice, so he could very well easily, like, you know, confess his love to Viorca, but I think it might be the fact that he would tell Sebi like you know, like no matter what, you can't deluge that fact, and that's the reason why he's cursed, kind of thing, you know. It's because some witch was like, ha, you don't need your voice because you can't even confess your love to, her. Yes, okay. I'm still sticking to that theory. We are all silent until we arrive at the toy shop. Okay, we're back. Emmeline, good to see you again. And you too. Hana, was it? Yes. I nodded acknowledgement. Viorka nods politely at the knight who stands guard at the shop door. Alright, it's just the two of you today? No, Rod's outside, because he refuses to come in. Emmeline and I both turn around, only to see that Rod has indeed vanished. Emmeline frowns, looking both bewildered and disappointed. He was right behind us. Yeah, I will go look for him. Yes, thank you, Hana. Alright, Rod, come on. Just as I expected, Rod is leaning against the wall of an alley just outside the toy shop. Talk to him, stay with him. I would stay with him. I'll just stay with him. I mean, if he doesn't want to... I'm pretty sure he's not the kind of person who would talk about it so easily. I'll stay with him. I can stay with him. Right? Like, what's the point of talking to him if it's just gonna be about, like, hello, like, the whole, like, what's the whole history behind Viorka with you, Okay, let's just stay with him. I can tell by Rod's stiff posture that anything I say to him will fall on deaf ears, so I move to stand next to him instead. I lean against the wall with him. What are you doing? I'm just keeping you company, right? Rod raises an eyebrow at me. Since when have you even liked my company? Well, I'd rather be here than stay inside the toy shop and listen to Emmeline and Viorka talk. So you're not here to try and get me to talk? No. Well, it's not as if you would answer any of my questions, right? That's what I thought too. I have tried forcing you to talk and know how ineffective it is. But I will be here if you do want to talk, right? Rod eyes me suspiciously. Since when did you start listening to others? Hey, I did good! Yes, see, I gotta pay attention. See, I'm so observative. Yes, I'm very observative. When you are the personal mate of someone who enjoys talking, you learn to listen. See? Yeah. Emmeline has been happier these past few months. I hate to admit it, but it seems to be because of you. Are you actually praising me? Rod looks away, his cheeks tinted pink. You're cute. Think whatever you like. I do not know why, but for some reason I am happy that Rod gave me a compliment. Yeah, Princess Hana! What? Waltz! Oh, Rod and I turn at the sound of the familiar voice. Waltz pauses in front of us with a bright smile. Oh, long time no see. It's nice to see you again, Princess. Waltz, what are you doing here? Well, I was about to deliver a letter to the prince, but I guess that won't be necessary anymore, since he's right here. A letter? Is Lady Parfait asking for me? Maybe? Not just you, she wants to see the princess as well. Oh, me? It has been a while since I was last at the Marchen, yes. Is something wrong? They need to discuss something important with the princess. Come to the Marchen tonight. Tonight? But we're already here, so why not now? Well, we can't just leave freaking Emmeline there. Waltz's eyes shift to our carriage. You are here with the Princess Emmeline, yes? You can't make her wait too long, right? What they need to discuss with you is complicated and will take some time to explain. Right, the toy shop door opens and Emmeline stands in the doorway as she says her goodbyes to Viorka. Remember. Okay, tonight. Okay, it's a date then. These are Waltz's last words before he slips back into the crowd. Okay. Emmeline's visit with Viorka was briefer than I thought it would be. Now all of us are headed back to the palace. Rod has not uttered a word on our way back. I can tell that this is making Emmeline agitated as she continues to keep glancing at Rod expectantly. If you have something to say, say it, right? Emmeline stares at me. You obviously want to say something to Prince Rod. The only way to get your answers is to ask him directly. Rod does not turn around. It is as if he does not hear me. Emmeline clasps her hands and sighs. Clasps her hands and sighs. God, not claps, but like I said clasps. Well, I glance at Rod, who is still persistently staring out the window, his eyes focused on nothing. He is pretending not to hear us. How immature. Rod? Viorka was sad that you weren't there today. She was certain that you stayed outside to avoid seeing her. Oh, what is going on with you? I am not in the mood to answer your questions, Em. Emmeline grips the edges of her dress, her expression becoming more rigid. You've been keeping secrets from us ever since you were cursed. We don't even know why you were cursed or how to help you break it. Wait, the rest of the family doesn't know anything about the circumstances of Rod's curse? No, only the fact that he's cursed. I had thought that he told them everything, but all they know is that he is cursed. Yes. We're a family. We're supposed to help each other through problems. Emmeline's hands are shaking as she gazes at her brother. Yes, it's more complicated than that. The carriage stops as soon as the servants open the door. Emmeline quickly steps out and rushes back toward the palace. Rod watches her go quietly, though his eyebrows are furrowed and he looks guilty. I silently shake my head at him before running after Emmeline. Emmeline! Emmeline stands in the hallway with her hands to her chest. She breathes slowly in and out, as if she is on the verge of tears. When she notices me behind her, she turns away and wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. I'm sorry for storming off like that. I was just very frustrated at Rod. Yeah, I said something I shouldn't have said back there. If anyone finds out about this, they won't. Your secret is safe with me. Emmeline flashes me a grateful smile before looking at the sky. Okay, so I'm assuming that the public does not know that Rod's cursed, only that he is just mute, quote quote. One moment Rod is running down the hallway, the next he has stopped in front of us and is trying to catch his breath. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, Rod, but right now I would like to be alone. Yeah, of course. Okay. I'm sorry, Hannah, but could you leave me for now? Okay. She does not even wait for my answer before walking away, leaving me alone with Rod. Well, you made her cry, Rod. Good going. I am fully aware of that. Why are you hiding your curse from your family? You wouldn't understand. I am doing this to protect them. Protect them? Rod silently shakes his head. They wouldn't understand. Okay. Those are the last ominous words Rod speaks before rushing off, leaving me alone in the hall. What happened to him? I don't know. That's why we're gonna find out. The hallways are silent at this time of night, mostly everyone in the palace prepares for bed. I am now on my way to our meeting place. Rod told me earlier to wait for him here. I had thought that he would make me go to the marching by myself after what transpired with Emmeline, but I was wrong. Emmeline was so upset today. I have never seen her like this before. I turned my thoughts back to the marching and to what Rod said earlier. I wonder what Parfait wants to talk with us about. I feel my heart beating erratically against my chest. Why do I feel like something bad is going to happen? I realize that I have been standing in the open for a while. Perhaps I should move. People might find my standing here suspicious. Right. I start walking again, and am surprised when I feel a hand close around my wrist and pull me into the darkness. I open my mouth, but a hand muffles my scream. Whoa. Shh, sorry, don't sneak up at me like that. Rod? Rod's gaze is icy. He speaks quietly, but I can feel the anger simmering underneath his words. What? What if someone saw you just standing there? Have you even thought about how they might get suspicious? I was just about to move when I thought of that, okay? God. Ugh. His tone is so accusatory that for a moment I could not find my voice. But then he is right. I should have been more careful. Sorry. Rod stares at me surprised. What? I never thought I'd hear you apologize, especially to me. Oh, well, at least I know how to apologize, unlike you. Oh, that clap back. Yeah. And why would I ever have a reason apologizing to you? Because you've done nothing but treat me coldly, even when I have done nothing to personally attack you. Rod scowls at me, but does not say anything. Instead, he sighs and takes my hand, pulling me after him. Okay. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, look at Sebi. Sebi's so cute. He's like, come. Oh, what? Let's go before the guard sees us. Yeah. I have no energy to argue with Rod, so I allow him to pull me along. I'm sorry. Ah, there it is. What? He apologized to me. Don't make me repeat myself. Ugh, he's so tsundere. I did not hear you clearly. If there's one thing I know about you, it's that you're not deaf. Of course I'm not. Shh, someone will hear you. I glare at Rod, but he does not respond. Princess, your hand is really warm. Sammy's just being a total snitch. I love it. Rod freezes in place and glares at Sebi, who seems to be shrugging. Your thoughts are too loud, Rod. I can't help it. Through the dim lights, I can actually see a faint blush on Rod's cheeks. Aw, you are blushing. I'm not. It's just really warm. He lets go of my hand and starts to walk toward the secret passage with me trailing behind him. We look around to make sure no one's in sight before we both slip inside. Okay. I follow closely behind Rod in silence. My eyes moved upward to the little bunny plush hanging on his shoulder. Sebby, I've been wondering. Have you ever talked with Rod's family as yourself? Rod suddenly stops and scowls over his shoulder at me. What? I'm asking Sebby, not you. No, I don't, Princess. Rod doesn't want me to talk with others since he thinks that I might say something unnecessary. So much for that. You still speak even when it is unnecessary. In the dim lighting of the tunnel, I think I can see a faint pink in Rod's cheeks, but it is probably a trick of the strange lighting. The strange lighting, really. Rod is right. Sebby has blurted out his thoughts more than a number of times. You're not doing a very good job. What do you mean by that? Well, I don't want to be... should I take Rod's side or should I take Sebby's side? What do you mean by that? Should I pry or should I not? Oh no, I think I might screw this one up. I've been really lucky so far with the choices, but... You're not doing a very good job. What do you mean by that? Rod is right. Sebby has blurted out his thoughts more than a number of times. Yeah, I might screw this one up, guys. I think, hey, this is probably gonna be my first time. Like, I've done so well so far. You are not doing a very good job. What do you mean by that? Well, there are thoughts that he prefers to keep to himself, like his thoughts on karma and his feminine voice, or his... Rod suddenly clamps Sebby's face, and I can actually see the poor plush struggling to get away from his hold. You're crushing the poor toy. Rod glares at me before finally releasing Sebby. Rod can be so brutal at times. I remember the time he almost threw me out of the window for saying that one lady had a hideous dress. Rod glares at Sebby once again. He readies his fingers to pinch him again, but Sebby hurriedly apologizes before Rod can touch him. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Rod sighs and continues walking. Rod, have you spoken with Emmeline since that earlier incident? Yeah. No. As much as I want to ask him about his curse, I doubt that he will divulge anything right now. I decide to keep my thoughts to myself as we head for the march-in. I don't think that would have given me any points, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. When we arrive at the march-in, Parfait and Delora are there to welcome us. The others, however, are nowhere in sight. What's up? It's been a while, Princess. Thank you for bringing her here safely, Prince Rod. Where is everyone? Yeah, they're all resting in their rooms now. It wasn't necessary that they be here for what Delora and I want to discuss with you. Oh. I will be staying in the tavern then. Nope. Rod is about to head for the tavern when Delora stops him. You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave. What we're going to say involves you too, since you're staying at the palace as well. Rod looks at her curiously but asks no questions. Parfait and Delora gestures us over to the settee where we all take our seats. This is something Rod and I must know because we're in the palace. I'm pretty sure maybe they got caught wind of what's going on with like Mithros and like Alcaster. I have a bad feeling about this. Yes. Before we start, I would like to congratulate you on your first good deed, Princess. Delora told me all about it, and I can see the extra piece on your necklace as well. Parfait smiles at me, her eyes filled with pride. Her faith in me rekindles the dwindling confidence I had. Aw. If only you'd see how happy Delora was when she announced it to us. You didn't have to go into specifics, Parfait. You're just looking out for me. Oh, are you embarrassed, Delora? She smiles at Delora teasingly before turning back to me. Anyway, I know you can do it, Princess. You only 2 more to go, and you can break your curse. Keep up the good work, Princess, and you too, Rod. Yes. So what is it that you wanted to discuss with us? I conducted a little investigation while I was with Hana in the palace, and I found out something important. Oh, something important. I discovered that there is a witch in the palace. Ooh, a witch! In the palace? Yes, I felt a tinge of magic while I was there. It was faint, but definitely there. I don't remember feeling it before when I was there as your doll, Princess. It seems that the witch is using a glamour to hide herself or herself from... It seems that the witch is using a glamour to hide himself or herself from us. Yes. A glamour is a magic that only very experienced witches can cast, which means the witch we are dealing with is no ordinary witch. They have the potential to be very powerful. But what would that witch be doing in the palace in the first place? This witch could be after the king, but... But what? Parfait and Delora glanced at each other, looking conflicted. It is Parfait who faces me, her expression grave. I bet it's her mother. I'm afraid there is some other possibility we must make you aware of, Princess. And in order for us to explain it, we must give you the truth. Ah. Is it our mother? The witch is our mother, right? Because so many... Chapter 6! What's it again? Moving closer. Moving closer. The truth. I'm pretty sure it's her mother. Because somebody... I think... It was the very first time we got cursed, and we were out on the street, and one of this like merchant lady, or this like restaurant owner lady, was like, when we were like, I'm the crown princess, and blah blah blah, and the king is my father, and then she was like, yeah, right, like the king would ever marry that witch kind of thing, and we were like, what? What's happening? I thought it might just be like a jibe, but like it could very well possibly be. Yes, so the truth. We're gonna find out right now. My only answer is silence. I shift my gaze to Rod, but he avoids my eyes. What is going on? Princess, it is very likely that this witch in the palace is looking for you. Okay, what? I cast a glamour on you a long time ago so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you, but this witch in question can see through the spell I've cast on you. It is my belief that they are actively looking for you. I close my eyes and massage the temples of my head as I feel a headache coming on. Wait, you said before that the witches want to see their curses unbroken, but this sounds as if they have another motive altogether. What reasons could they have for trailing me? Right. The Tenebrarium has been without a barrier for a long time, ever since the end of the war. Alright. A new bearer, however, will soon arise and the crystal is ready to support them. Some of the witches, the wicked ones, want to make sure that the Tenebrarium continues to spread darkness even with this new bearer in charge. Okay, but what does that have to do with me? Delora crosses her arms with her expression grim. The title of the bearer is passed down from one descendant to the next. Princess, the last Tenebrarium bearer was the late Queen of Angiel, your mother. Ah la la! I knew it! She was a witch! She was a witch. I feel my blood go cold. What? As you are the queen's daughter, you are the next heir. Come your 18th birthday, you will inherit the title of Tenebrarium bearer. Mother? A witch? Impossible. No, she is. Why would you spout such lies? I narrow my eyes at them, searching for some hint that they are lying to me. Delora and Parfait never turn their sad eyes away from me. Rod glances at me briefly before turning away, looking uncomfortable. Did he know too? Is that why he hated us? Hildar, your mother and I used to work together to maintain balance, but then the witch hunt drove her mad and turned her heart ice cold. But she never used any magic. I would have known if she was a witch. It's possible that you did in the past, but then it seems she erased all your memories of her true identity. Delora was already able to ascertain that most of your memories of her had been snatched away. Yes. Hildar needed you to remain obedient so that when you finally did inherit her role as the bearer, you would continue to do as she wanted. Oh, my thoughts feel as if they are spinning endlessly on an axis. That makes sense because she's always so controlling over her. The real reason I cursed you was to see if you are truly capable of goodness, Princess. Oh, okay. Hildar's influence clung to you even after her death, and we fear that you would continue her previous work. That Angiel might once again fall to darkness if you were not able to help the dark emotions in your heart. So then you cursed me because you were terrified of what I would do if I became the bearer as I was. Yes, my only answer is silence. Now I understand why the people hated me. It was because I am my mother's daughter. I cannot help but reach out to touch the pendants on my necklace as a feeling of dread washes over me. We know that there is goodness in you, Princess. We only wanted you to realize it by breaking your curse. Parfait sighs, looking guilty. Right. It was a selfish act on our part, I know. But we could not risk another great war. They believed that I would have plunged the world into a war? Well, come on, girl. By the way you were acting, should you be really that surprised? I turn to Rod, who has yet to speak since the conversation started. Did you know about all of this? I'm pretty sure he does. Everyone knows the story of the Tenebrarium witch and her daughter. Everyone except for me. I glance down at my hands, suddenly feeling numb. I am a witch. and I will become the Tenebrarium's next bearer. Just the thought of it makes me sick. I think back to my childhood. I can still recall the glares that everyone gave me when I was a child. They were scared of me because I was my mother's daughter? Well, makes sense. And what about the king? Did he never love me because I was the daughter of a witch? But if that is the case, if my mother was so wicked, then why did the king marry her in the first place? Maybe she wasn't, you know? Oh, never mind. I thought she kind of went mad as, the closer the whole war thing became, and it got really bad, and that's, like, she used to be nice, but I guess not. Hildur threatened to kill the woman that he loved if he did not marry her. She threatened to kill Ophelia. Oh, wow. Ophelia, so the king has loved Ophelia from the very beginning. Yes, I clenched my hands into tight fists. After Mother died, he was able to reunite with his true love, and since then he has treated Emmeline and Rod better than he ever treated me, even though I am his daughter by blood. Yes, I want to feel angry about this revelation, but instead I feel a dreary emptiness inside of me. A heavy feeling begins to settle in my chest, suffocating my heart. He never really loved me. Hannah? Rod's voice snaps me out of my thoughts, and that is when I realize that a stray tear had made it down my cheek. Yeah, because, growing up and up until now, Hannah really did believe that her father, not believe that her father loved her, but more like she loved him kind of thing, I quickly wipe it away with the back of my hand, angry at myself for showing weakness in front of them. You must be happy to see me like this. What? Your mother was made queen and you and your sister became royals overnight. It's like something out of a fairy tale, isn't it? You thought you had the perfect life until I came back into it. I never asked for this to happen. I just wanted to... Rod suddenly moves his hand to Sebby's mouth, muffling whatever other words the plush was going to say for him. What is it you want to say, Rod? It's nothing. I just wanted to what? I can assure you, however, that the power that comes with the crown has always been irrelevant to my family and I. So stop assuming that everyone around you is after your title or your riches. Did your time with my sister not teach you anything? Yes, that's true. I am about to angrily retort when I suddenly stop, my heart sinking. I have already recognized that Emmeline is more complex than I thought she was, and she has also told me that she never wanted to be a princess. Yes, my mother wouldn't have married the king if my father was still here. Yeah. Delora looks between the two of us and sighs. It's very complex. And here I thought your relationship had improved. Now it seems like it's back to square one, right? I cross my arms and turn away, annoyed. Do you have anything else to add, Parfait? If not, I would like to return to the palace. Princess, stay vigilant and be careful about who you trust. Trust? How do you know whom I trust? What makes you even think I trust you? Oh, wow. Oh, shit. The anger that I was expecting earlier suddenly rises to the surface. For all I know, Parfait and Delora could be feeding me lies, playing with me the way Delora did when she first cursed me. I don't expect you to believe what we've told you. Perhaps it was not yet the right time to reveal everything to you, but please, you need to be careful. I stand up and look at them, my arms now hanging limply at my sides. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. How am I meant to trust anyone when all you have been lying? God, how am I meant to trust anyone when all of you have been lying to me this entire time? Yes, Hannah. But if you don't believe us, then try asking the king who Hildur truly is. Oh, that's true. I never even thought about asking the king about Mother. Rod, you should watch your back too. It's possible that this witch in question could be plotting something against the royal family as well. They have been in the palace for a long time after all. Maybe the witch is Mithros, right? I was still thinking it'd possibly be her mother, but then technically her mother is like gone, disappeared / dead, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Mithros. It has to be him. She looks at me, then at Rod, her expression somber. I won't be able to stay with you anymore. I had to pick up and leave a few days ago because I was certain he'd caught a trace of my magic. Oh. He probably already has. It's Mithros. He's the only shady-ass looking bitch in that palace. I understand. Yes. Anyway, Hannah is right to return to the palace now. Someone may notice your... Hannah is right to return to the palace now. Someone may notice your absence if you're gone much longer. You two should leave now. Yes, and he was the one who hinted at it too. He was like, it would all be soon, be fixed kind of thing. And he gave us this crazy looking... He gave us the crazy eyes, and that was it. Let us know if you notice anything unusual. Yes. I will. Okay. We'll see you again soon, Princess. Remember, stay vigilant. Yes. Alright, back to the palace we go. Rod and I leave the margin in silence. Here in the secret tunnels, we are suffocated under even more silence, but still neither of us makes an effort to speak. I am still stuck inside my own head, my own mind, sifting through my troubled thoughts. I cannot reconcile the fact that the wicked witch who led the witches during the war was my mother. I did not even realize how many people hated my mother until after she passed, and they spoke about how cruel a queen she was. I never understood why since she has always been the perfect person in my eyes. Well, in your eyes, yeah, but not in anybody else's. I never connected my mother with the Tenebrarium bearer, but what Parfait and Delora just told me makes sense. Was I living a lie all those years? A lie that my mother crafted so that I remained cold and bitter even after she passed away. And Delora and Parfait say I am meant to inherit the power of the Tenebrarium from my mother. I do not want that burden. I almost bump into Rod's back when he suddenly stops walking. He turns around and looks at me with a serious expression. I cannot help but feel judged beneath the weight of that gaze. If you're going to tell me that you never wanted me as your partner because my mother was a witch, then... I wasn't going to say that. Oh, what? What? Yeah. I won't lie, the first time I saw you, I thought you were like your mother. You were cold, harsh, and selfish. I never wanted to have anything to do with you. Well, yeah, understandably so. That was why I was so against this partnership, but... you've changed. Aww! Rod's expression softens. As you and Em have grown closer, I have seen that you are not like your mother. She speaks fondly of you, and I can tell she really enjoys your company. Aww. That's why. Even if I do not have plans to break my curse, I will still do what I can to help break yours. Oh, okay. Aww. It's the least I can do as your partner. I stare at Rod in shock. This is the first time he has ever been so nice to me. Oh, why are you staring at me like that? I'm only doing this because you're important to my sister. Rod turns away, his face beet red. Liar. Snitch. Rod reaches up to pinch Sebi's face. Ow. Compliment him, thank him. I want to thank him. You're so kind to me. I want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Rod turns away, his cheeks dusted pink. It's no big deal. I'm only doing this because I see how dedicated you are to breaking your curse. Because I want to get my old life back. And now that they have told me about Mother, I want to prove that I am nothing like her. Anyway, I still want to help you with your curse, Rod. Why do you refuse to break it? Rod stares down at his feet, expression melancholy. Because I cannot. Rod stops and shakes his head. He says nothing else, and I do not probe him anymore, especially not after seeing the distant look on his face. He has to kill somebody, I'm pretty sure. We walk through the corridor and back to our room after we say our goodbyes. I wonder what Rod was going to say. Okay, more flashbacks. Mother, look! Eleanor got me this gift! Eleanor? She is my maid and my friend. She's like, we don't not make friends with maids. Princesses don't make friends with their servants. But she's really nice. She even taught me how to braid my hair like... Those servants are only nice to you because you are the princess. They only pretend to be your friends so that they can have power over you. But Eleanor would never. What reason do I have to lie to you? When have I ever lied to you, little one? You have never lied to me. That is correct. Tomorrow I will remedy the situation. I will hire a new maid. You are not to befriend this one, no matter what she says. Oh man. But Mother, are you arguing with me, Hana? No, I'm sorry, Mother. Yes. Come on, Hana. Realize what a bitch your mom is. God damn. Okay. It has been days since Parfait and Delora revealed my mother's true identity and the inevitable responsibility I am to have on my shoulders once I turn 18. I have been trying to ask the king about Mother, but he is even busier these days than he was before, and it's impossible to find a single moment in the day to speak with him. The fact that I am a maid makes it even harder to garner his attention. When I am not on break, I continue to do my duty serving Emmeline. Right now, I am accompanying her as she practices her walk and posture. Ophelia has been helping her, pointing out any mistakes she finds. I know how hard this is, dear. I had to go through this training as well before I married the king. Emmeline allows her shoulders to slouch as she lets out an exasperated sigh. Oh my god, I would have made a horrible princess. I slouch my shoulders all the time. I always hated these lessons. I had thought my posture was fine. This is supposed to refine it, and yet all these lessons have been doing is hurting my back. Huh. Oh, Emmeline, you'll get the hang of it. You'll get the hang of it. You just need to keep practicing. But Mother, I've had the same lesson before. Why must I do it again? Because you slouch when you walk, and that is unbecoming of a princess. Emmeline scowls at her mother, and Ophelia's frown falls away as she bursts into laughter. Mother, you're not helping. The atmosphere in the room is far from heavy as Emmeline and her mother continue to conduct their lessons. It is almost the exact opposite of the lessons I had with Mother. Mother always got angry when I made even the smallest mistakes. I know this is hard, but as the crown princess, all eyes will be on you during the ball. Yes, the people there will judge any small mistake you make, which is why you need to be in top form on that night. Yes, I know. Ophelia claps her hands. Alright, now to start again. Oh god. Emmeline groans before heading to the far wall and straightening her back. She takes a deep breath, puts a book on her head, and begins to walk again. The book falls from her head on her third step. She sighs, moves back, and starts to process it again. Neither of us break Emmeline's concentration by speaking. We stand idly by and watch as she tries time and time again. I am surprised when Ophelia leans towards me and begins to whisper. What? Hannah, I'd been meaning to say this before, but I am grateful that you are friends with my daughter. Aww. I look at Ophelia's smiling face with surprise. I never agreed to be her friend. You are not against the princess making friends with servants? She's like, why would I be? I actually wish more of the staff here wouldn't be so tight, since I would love for Emmeline to be on good terms with the people who serve her. Besides, social status is never an obstacle to friendship. Ophelia shifts her gaze back to Emmeline, who is now picking up the book that has once again fallen from her head. Wow, girl, you really suck at this, but then again, I would too. No matter your occupation or status, a friend is always a friend. You've given Emmeline the courage she needs to face the many challenges she has ahead of her. In a way, you're like family, since you're always around us. Like family. Yes, come what may, both family and friends are there for you and will accept you for who you are. Even before I was cursed, Emmeline was always trying to be my friend. That means she knew all along who my mother was, and still wanted to be my friend. The thought makes me remember what Parfait told me about Mother threatening to kill Ophelia if the king did not marry her. I turned to Ophelia, curious. Maybe you could ask her about her, yeah. Your Majesty, may I ask what you know about the late Queen's rule? Ophelia looks at me quizzically, so I quickly add a thoughtless lie. I was not in NGL and have only heard stories. I just thought it was so hard to believe, what with how peaceful things are in the palace right now. The kingdom was a dark place back then. People lived in fear under her rule. The king had no real power over NGL. Wow, the witches had free reign over the kingdom. They cast the fairy tale curse incessantly and on a whim. We barely left our houses in fear of becoming cursed. Wow, Mother's reign was that terrible. The king still blames himself for the darkness that befell NGL during that time. This is why he works day in and day out to stabilize the country and to put smiles on everyone's faces. I remember long ago how he told me one of the reasons he would always continue to work hard for this kingdom was because he wanted to make a brighter tomorrow for his children. Oh. Ophelia looks away confused for a few moments, then brushes off the awkwardness with a small chuckle. He helps the family in his own way. Huh. Is it possible that he said that with me in my is it possible that he said that with me in mind, and Ophelia slip up? But then, maybe he was always referring to Emmeline and Rod. Oh, maybe it's true then that he still deep down cared about her when she was a child, and still now, because it's like, hey, it's not my fault that, you know, my forced wife is a bitch and is like really hella crazy. Like, it's just she was just a kid, just like trying to learn and just to be, you know, be good and shit. The kingdom's come a long way since then, hasn't it? There are still witches here and there, but most of them don't bother others. I pray that the peace we are experiencing right now will last. I see. Thank you for telling me. Alright, it is a bit of a dreary topic, but I'm happy to have helped. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call on me. Alright, I know it may not be traditional protocol for a queen, but then I do not consider myself a typical queen. I try my best to listen to everyone here, regardless of what their title or name might be. Aww. I can only nod at her in response. Princess or maid, the way Ophelia has treated me has never changed. She has always treated me with kindness regardless of who I am. I never saw it before because I was always so distant from everyone, but now I see that Ophelia treats everyone here with kindness regardless of social status. Yeah, I was always frustrated by the servants when they compared Ophelia to Mother, saying she was superior. But now, I think I understand why they would make such comparisons. Right? Because your mom was a bitch. Emmeline dismisses me after my lessons. What? After her lessons. More like. And I begin to head immediately back to my room. I have just turned a corner when I notice Sir Alcaster standing before me, scowling. It's you again. Watch where you're going, child. I quickly avert my gaze, not wanting a confrontation. He always looks at me so strangely, almost as if he can see into my mind, or is trying to. My apologies, Sir Alcaster. Sir Alcaster nods his head at me stiffly before walking off. You are pardoned, princess. Oh, shit. It's either he... Okay, I swear Misa spilled him in on it. I swear. Like, he didn't seem like he recognized me before, you know? And now he's just like, hey. I turn to stare after him, but he has already turned the corner. My blood becomes cold. Was that just a slip of the tongue? But how else could he know that I am the princess? Is it possible that he is cursed? No, somehow that does not seem right. But if he does not have the fairy tale curse, could he be the witch that Delora warned me about? No. What reason would he have for unveiling his identity then, unless he just wants to intimidate me further? It occurs to me that Fritz still remembers who I am. Did he tell his father about me? Oh, that's his dad! Oh god. Now I am even more confused about whom I should trust. Hannah? I jumped when I hear Rod call me. His expression slowly creases with something that looks like worry. Yeah. You're pale. Did something happen? Yes. Would he believe me if I told him? Tell him. We need all the allies we can get here. Okay, tell him. Sir Alcaster knows I am the princess. Do you think he is the witch Delora was talking about? I whisper the words to him, and he responds by raising his eyebrows, looking surprised. What makes you say that? This isn't just because of the standoffish way he acts, is it? No, you don't believe me. Rod sighs. I never said that I didn't. It's just that we can't just blindly accuse anyone without any real proof. Rod stares at me for a few moments, then closes his eyes, his eyebrows slightly furrowed with thought. Sir Fitzgerald also remembers who you are. I do not want to be so suspicious of Fritz, but I don't think blindly trusting him would be right either given these circumstances. Okay, you need to stay vigilant around him. If anything happens, you can come talk to me about it. Okay, you're worried about me. Rod averts his gaze from me. Yes, of course I am. Yes. Wow, you're actually being honest. What? Rod glares at Sebi before pinching his cheek. Anyway, I must leave now. I have a dance to practice for. Yes, dance. You already know how to dance. What do you have left to practice? Rod does not answer and only walks away. I decide to follow after him. Where are you going? Why did you follow me? I'm curious. I shrug. I wanted to see you practice. To be honest, I want to see him dance. I already know that Emmeline is very clumsy when it comes to dancing, but outside of the one practice with Emmeline, I have never seen Rod dance. Emmeline always gloats on his behalf, but I have yet to witness Rod's supposed talent with my own eyes. Our dance together was so short, I barely had any time to judge him. I do not practice with an audience. Why? Yeah, it is my preference. Rod is easily embarrassed. Rod groans and pinches one of Sebi's cheeks, glowering. Sorry. Alright, Rod reluctantly releases the bunny with a sigh. I notice you have been talking more lately, Sebi. Oh, that's because Rod here has been saying things that contradict what he thinks or feels. Sebi makes a sound of defeat as Rod once again pinches one of his cheeks. Ah, cute. Rod stares at me with wide eyes, and I stare back, beginning to panic. Oh, what is wrong? I smiled. You smiled again. I put a hand to my mouth, flushing. I was smiling again? I never even noticed. It was a pretty smile, princess. Right, Rod? Rod quickly turns away, cheeks slightly pink. Aw, I need to practice now, so I would appreciate you leaving. He did not even command me to leave. What a surprise. Emmeline said you were a really good dancer. I want to see it with my own eyes. Why? So you can judge me? No, I'm not here to judge you. I am sure that I am a better dancer than you. I don't know, that feels like a friendly jibe, but like I'm not here to judge you though, honestly. Yeah. Why else would you be so keen on watching me? I'm mostly curious. Yeah. Curious. I wanted to know how good you really were. Then yes, you are judging me. Hey! I hold out my hand and he stares, looking taken aback. I should not be scolded for only being curious. Why not just one little dance to prove how talented you are? Rod stares at me for a few minutes before reluctantly taking my hand. Fine, you better not step on my feet. Have I ever? Rod starts leading the dance. He glides us into the imaginary rhythm of a waltz. Even without the music, I am able to count the steps in my head as I follow his lead. This is different from the short dance we showed Emmeline. Rod's movements are graceful, his touch gentle as he leads me to an underarm twirl. Ah, this is so cute! When I come to face him once again, I notice the gentle way he stares at me. The usual hardness of his expression is gone, melted into something relaxed. I find myself staring back at him, looking into his eyes. Perhaps Rod does have some gentleness to him. Our gaze does not break as he twirls me. Oh, look, you have very beautiful eyes. You have beautiful eyes. You have beautiful eyes, girl. What are you talking about? Rod's eyes widen as soon as mine do. He abruptly lets go of my hands and steps back. I can only stare at him, my face warm. It wasn't me this time. That was more than just a thought, I swear. Rod says nothing, though his cheeks continue to darken with embarrassment. Oh my. Rod and I turn to look at Emmeline, who is hovering by the door. Oh, excuse me. Rod quickly walks through the doorway and out into the hallway, leaving Emmeline and I alone in the room. What just happened? We had a moment. That was wonderful. That was a wonderful dance, Hannah. You were watching? I only just saw the last few minutes, but you know, the two of you really did look like a couple. It was sweet. Yes. A couple. Yes. Oh, you're blushing. I put a hand on my cheek and turn away with a scowl. I am not. Besides, whatever just happened was embarrassing. Do you like Rod? I stare at her. I do not. Also, you are forgetting that I am a maid who cannot be with the prince even if I wanted to. He is grumpy and cold, and even though we are not blood related, he is still my stepbrother. If only Emmeline realized how crazy her words were in light of the truth. Emmeline suddenly looks starry-eyed as she giggles at me. Love knows no boundaries, Diana. Besides, he seems to like you. Your brother hates me. No, Rod can be a contradiction sometimes. Yeah, as you can see. Sometimes he says the opposite of what he feels. It's only when you get to know him as well as I do that you realize what his truths are. I cannot help but think of Sebi, who always speaks Rod's thoughts aloud when they are contradictory. He was always so mean to Viorka when we were young. He would always bully her for being a crybaby, even though he cried far more often. But then I realized that he treated her more special than he did anyone else. Back then, I knew that he liked her. I thought that one day the two of them might even grow to love each other, but... Emmeline lets out a long sigh as she directs her attention out the window. Are you gonna spill the tea? Am I finally gonna know? His attitude toward her has changed ever since he was cursed. Then they grew even more distant when Viorka found a lover. Is that the reason why you have been going to the toy shop with Prince Rod? Because you want to bring them back together? Emmeline nods. The three of us were best friends, three musketeers. It's not the same without Rod. I keep on asking him what's wrong, but he refuses to tell me. He's always been stubborn, but it's not like him to keep secrets. It's really frustrating because I have no idea what I should do to help him. I thought he was just being stubborn with me, but apparently no amount of prodding, even from his own family, will make him budge. Why is he being so difficult? I hope you do not mind me asking, but what do you know about his curse? Emmeline stares at me for a few moments before nodding. You're my friend, Hannah, and I know that I can confide in you. I know that sometimes I am not trusting enough, but I think Emmeline is still far too trusting. Yes, too trusting for her own good. We only know that he has the mermaid's curse. I've read the story so many times, hoping that I can figure out some way to break this curse. I think back and realize that I had actually read the beginning of The Little Mermaid a long time ago, but I did not have the chance to finish it because I was caught by Mother. The Little Mermaid is about a mermaid who trades her voice for legs, right? Yes, she does it so that she can be with her prince. Rod's voice was taken away, but I'm sure that he was given something in exchange. I've heard that the curse are derived from the original tales, but that they are twisted in some way to fit the format of a curse. Okay, I nod slowly, thoughtful. I have a strong feeling that Rod's curse is related to Viorka, but I cannot draw the connection. But still, Viorka might be the key to understanding his curse. If Rod will not divulge anything, the next best chance we have of understanding his curse might be going through Viorka. Okay, that's true. She's getting it. She's getting there. Chapter 7. Be careful what you wish for. Okay, guys. Oh my god, this is just getting too good. What? I know. Okay, I think my format for this playthrough is basically doing two chapters per episode because one chapter basically takes around 45 minutes, and I think that's a little too short for an episode. Of course, as you guys noticed, I've been doing it 2 at a time, so I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. Oh my god, I so wish that I could continue. Oh my god, I'm just so into it now, and I really want to know, like, you know, I'm not too sure if every choice yields a crystal if you get it right, but like I think so far I've only really missed out on 2 choices that I didn't see crystals for. But hopefully they're not that significant because for the most part, as I said already, I have been getting crystals. Like I was on top, like I was on the ball, I was on a roll. Okay, so yeah, hopefully, you know, we can obviously I'm gonna come back to it once we finish up the first run through of his route. But yeah, so for now we'll leave it at that. We'll just remain curious as to what would happen if I chose the other choices. But like, anyways, yeah, we're gonna leave it here. We are on the cusp of finding out more about Rod's curse. We got a little bit more moments with Rod. We found out there's some shady people in the palace now. I already have my suspicions, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. But we're gonna have to leave it for the next episode. Perhaps we might find out who it is, and you know, the game will reveal who the witch is to us in the next episode. But anyways, for now we will leave it here, and we will continue on later. And yeah, oh my god, it's getting exciting. So we're just the plot thickens, I guess. So the thick plottins, I should say. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. So hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you are getting into the story as I am as well too, because yeah, I really like this game so far, and I know a lot of you who have played it in the past say it's really good, so that just, you know, further puts my expectations a little bit higher. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it'll turn out great. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. So anyways, tune in next time, but for now, bye!